Hello everyone, welcome to channel QTOMATION. In today's session, we will see how to check if string is palindrome string or not. So what do you mean by palindrome string? So string is called a palindrome string if the reverse of that string is the same as the original string. For example, if you take the word level, if you make the reverse of this word, that is still level, so that is still same as the original string. That's why level is palindrome string. Similarly, radar. Now reverse of radar is still radar, right? That is same as original string. That means radar is also palindrome string. But let's say there is one more string, let's say hello. Now if you take the reverse of the word hello, it is not palindrome because the reverse is not same as the original string, right? So palindrome string is the one for which the reverse of that specific string is same as the original string. Now let's see programmatically how we can find out whether the string is palindrome string or not. Now I am going to PyCharm. Let's create new Python file. So I am going to create new Python file, palindrome.py. So we have created one Python file. Now I am going to define one string. Let's say my string equals to, let's say first try with actual palindrome string, that is level. Now before that we have to use, so the approach would be, we have to first reverse that specific string, and we have to check whether that reverse of that string is same as the original string. If both the string matches, then that means it's a palindrome string. Now first we have to reverse the string, right? So we have to first reverse the string and then compare with original string. If both of them gets matched, that means our string is palindrome string. Before that, we have to see the slicing operator in the string. So let's say I am going to print my string and then I am going to use slicing operator. So when I use the colon operator, that is also slicing operator, and if I don't mention, so we have to mention starting index and ending index here. So let's say I am not mentioning anything. Now let's print or let's execute this file. So I'm going to execute this file. So when we run these files, if you see it's printing the entire string as it is, because we haven't mentioned any starting index here and any ending index here. Now let's say I'm going to mention, let's copy this one, and now what I'm going to do, let's mention the starting index, that is 0, and always remember that for the string the starting index starts from 0, so L is at 0 position, 0, and whenever we have to find the end index, then it should be start with 1. So to mention the end index, the L will start from 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If I mention 5 as ending index, and now let's run this file, so again it will print level, right? So for this also it will print entire string because we have mentioned start index as 0 and ending index as 5. And also remember that starting index, when we calculate, it starts from 0, but to calculate the end index, starting position will start from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Similarly, let's say I am changing this index. So now instead of 0 I am mentioning starting index as, let's say, 1. So it will start with E because starting index starts with 0 and E is at first position. So let's run this file. So it will print EVEL, right? So this will print EVEL. Similarly, now let's say what I will do, I will mention it as 0 only. This is starting index is 0, end index is 5, and I am going to use plus 1 here. What does that mean? So it will again, let's execute this file. So it will again print the same level, right? Because we have mentioned incrementation. So one mentions that it will increment one by one. That's why it is printing the same level again. Now instead of this, if I put or if I remove starting index and end index and let's run this file, it will again print level only because it is same as previous state, right? So if you don't mention the starting index, it will capture it as 0, and also if you don't mention the end index, it will capture the end of that specific string, and one means that it is going in straight order, right? Now if we put -1 here, right? So if we put -1 and let's run this file, this time it will print. So instead of level, I'm going to use another string, let's say ABCDE. Now let's run this file, right? So if you see, if we use here starting index as 0, end index as, it will mention end index as up to the end of, or the total string length, and -1 means it will print but in reverse order. So if we mention ABCDE, so this statement is going to print entire string into reverse order. So this is what we want, right? So we just want to use this statement. So I'm just going to remove this one. So this will give the reverse of the string which we mention here. So I'm going to use one more string. Let's say I print XYZ, and let's execute this file. So when we execute this, it will again reversing the string. So this statement is going to reverse the string. After that, we can simply compare it. So for example, now what I will do, I will put simply one if condition, if, and I am removing the print one, if my string, that is the string which we have mentioned here, and we are reversing that string, is equal to my string, then we will simply print my string, comma, is palindrome string. Now let's execute this file. Sorry, we haven't mentioned else condition, right? So we have to mention else condition as well, right? So let's mention the else condition, else print my string, comma, is not palindrome string, right? So it's not palindrome. So now let's execute this file one more time, right? If you see here, XYZ is not a palindrome string. So here we are reversing the string, and reverse of XYZ is not same as XYZ, right? So that's why it is printing that this specific string is not a palindrome string. Now let's put some palindrome string here. For example, radar. Now if you execute this file, let's run this code. Radar is palindrome string, right? Because the reverse of the radar is same as the original string, that is radar. So in this case, it will execute this statement, that is that string is palindrome string. Now one more string we can check. For example, let's say I'm putting madam. Now madam is again a palindrome string. Let's execute. Again, madam is a palindrome string. So this is how we can use slicing operator and first reverse the string, and after that we can just compare with the original string. If both the string matches, then that string is palindrome string. So thank you for watching this video. In the coming session we will see some more practice examples of Python programming.